Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about the number 4 release from Big Finish of Torchwood, One Rule. Yep, Tracy Ann Oberman as Yvonne Hartman is here. This is Torchwood, well, circa 2006. This is Torchwood before we get to see Torchwood on TV. And frankly, it's fantastic. Anyone who says anything else about this story clearly wasn't paying attention. Rather sneakily, this whole story takes place on March the 26th, 2005. A date which, of course, is in most people's minds, but that's not what's important. There's lots of talk throughout this entire story of what's happening in Strictly Come Dancing, and we all know what followed Strictly Come Dancing. But as I so often say when I'm doing these reviews, that's not what's important. What is important is that, well, Joseph Lister has managed to write a brilliant Torchwood story. A Torchwood story that takes place in Wales that has an absolutely tiny cast, just like the rest of this release. But it manages to encapsulate life in a city in the mid-2000s, but also, and that's any city, not just Cardiff, but it also gives you a feeling of the city. Everyone's had a bad night out. And that's what this story is. Yes, there are monsters, there are aliens, there's political intrigue, there is also continuing major story arc. But you get background when it comes to Yvonne's character, but it always pays homage. You see, the problem with having a Doctor Who villain is they often become two-dimensional because they're not on screen for that long. But here, Yvonne isn't the baddie. Yvonne is the main character. Yes, Yvonne is completely true to her characterisation on TV, but you're always rooting for her. And indeed, when I saw her on TV, I was kind of rooting for her then. Yes, Yanto appears in the on the other end of the phone kind of a way, but this is totally and utterly Yvonne's story. But what's it about? Well, let's read the synopsis. It's been 3 weeks since the Mayor of Cardiff was killed by a shop dummy, and the fight is on to see who will replace him. Yvonne Hartman is visiting the city to retrieve an invaluable alien device. Yes, and sorry, I'm stepping out of the synopsis here for a minute. That's hilarious when you find out what it actually is. She's in charge of Torchwood 1. She's saving the British Empire and she doesn't care about local politics. But she's going to find herself caught up in that fight. There's a bloodthirsty alien stalking the streets, and there's a special offer on all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. It's 26th of March 2005, and it's the day that everything changes. It's simply brilliant. Yes, there are other people. Gareth Armstrong as Barry Jackson. Rebecca Lacey as Helen Evans. But Dan Starkey as Ross Bevan and Catherine Stewart as Meredith Bevan. Well, this cast is so small and yet it feels so huge given the sound design and the characterisation and the thrust and what's happening. It's just brilliant. I can't emphasise enough how much. So if you like the original Torchwood, yes, and I know I keep saying about this range, but it's so strong. It's so well acted and it's so well thought through. And Tracy Ann Oberman is just brilliant and hilarious. There's not a lot of actresses who would put up with being called a drag queen. It's just superb. If you like her in, well, not even in EastEnders, in Toast, and who doesn't like Toast? Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. This is just great. So take my recommendation, please, and get your hands on this particular story. You so won't regret it. One disc, download is $7.99. You're not being robbed. So, a short review, because I've got nothing but praise for this story. And I'll leave you with the trailer. So until next time, be seeing you.
The 21st century is when everything changes, and we're ready. Obviously.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Torchwood, One Rule.
I'm standing on an invisible lift, and I'm about to enter Torchwood 3. Hooray.
must be Torchwood then. It's the murders, you see. There's been 5 in the last 2 weeks.
Well, murders? That's what the police are for.
Oh, I thought you might help me.
Oh, bless you, but no. I'm from London. I don't do local politics. Good night. I run a top-secret organisation that protects all of Great Britain from invasion. I have tea with the Queen twice a week. I'm trying to keep you alive and you're behaving like children. In fact, I've had enough of this city. Everyone get out!
Big Finish. We love stories.
Oh, happy day.
You've been listening to the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast. Available on RSS, iTunes, Audioboom, Tumblr, and wherever podcasts are found. Why not become a supporter of the show by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Doctor Who and its associated properties are copyright of the BBC and no infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.